What's up, y'all? We are back. I missed y'all. Did y'all freaking miss me? Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so happy that our show is back on for the 3rd season. It has been too long, and this first episode was so freaking good, so funny. I am so excited for this new season. Let's get into this recap, y'all. Welcome back to AABTV, Authentically RGBTV. All right, y'all. So I'm not going to give no spoilers away, or at least I'm going to try not to give no spoilers away. But when the show first started, it was, of course, the summertime, and they were having a professional development day, right? And we're, just watching, thinking, and we see all the teachers. We see Greg, we see Mr. C, aka Jacob, we see Barb, we see Melissa, we see Ava, and I'm like, where's my girl Janine? Where's she at? Where's she at? And then in walks Janine with some people behind her that do not look familiar, and we get this bomb thrown on us that she doesn't even particularly work at Abbott anymore. So then we get a flashback of the summer to where we figure out why. And in a nutshell, why? Is because Janine is that person who always wants to help. She is always looking for a solution. She's always the one, in previous seasons who, with her quirkiness, her nerdiness, whatever you want to describe her as, she always wanted what's best for the students, as any good teacher would, and what was best for the school as a whole. And we see that everyone is, like I said, when we go to this flashback, we see that everyone is, in the professional development day. They are getting ready for the first day of school, setting up classrooms, and we see that there are representatives from the district who have joined them in the assembly, and they have decided to come and just shadow everyone. And whole time, our other favorite, Ava, the principal, is, totally different. She said that she spent time at Harvard during the summer. She's actually doing what a principal is supposed to do. And she's not the loud, not giving a care about nothing that's going on Ava that we have grown to know and love. And it's basically getting on everybody's last nerve. So while everyone is going around during the flashback and they are getting their room set up, there is a representative, I believe his name was Manny. He is from the district, and he is talking to Janine, and he's telling her that he really liked the fact that she decided or suggested that the school have a career day, which everybody, of course, Janine's idea, was against. And he was telling her that, she comes up with a lot of good ideas and how she would be perfect fit for a fellowship with the district. And what that fellowship consists of is just people coming together with ideas to make everything better. And he also, just talking about, for an example, the iPads that they allow the school to have, or that they gave for everyone. And she was just like, what, me? And she's coming into her own. She said that during the time that we didn't see them, she's been working on herself. She's been, not too much of that dreamer, that person who is like, just head in the clouds thinking, everything is peaches and cream. She's come to realize, like, she can only control what she can control. And she even decided that she wanted to start cussing, which was not a hit for nobody, because it just didn't seem natural, and it was just jokes flying during that part of the episode. And even still throughout that, we see Barb and Melissa still tight as ever. Melissa's boo, Gary, I think that's his name. I'll be calling him the vending machine man, but he's still the vending machine man at Abbott, and they flirting back and forth, and he's even like throwing in little hints that he wants to marry her, y'all. And this whole entire episode, I was like rooting for them. Still am rooting for them. If you know, you know. And Barb is basically just trying to figure out how everything is going to go with the district being there. She doesn't trust them. She's one of them old, you know, them old school teachers. It's like they always say they're going to help. They're always going to do this. They're always going to do that. And they never do. So she doesn't really trust. And then she ends up having a change of heart, I believe, towards the end of the episode. And Jacob, throughout this entire time, is talking to them, trying to figure out a plan to get good old Ava up out of this new and improved principal way, because everything that she's doing, she is like taking things away from them, taking away off-site lunches, taking away things out of the classroom, even took Jacob's personal laptop and didn't care. She's really trying her best to be like top notch, and they're over it, and that's not what they used to, and they feel stressed about it. We all know change happens and we don't like it, so we're like, what can we do to revert back? Because we was used to being able to do what we want to do up in here. But you know, sometimes change is for the good. So while we are in this flashback, there happens to be the first day of school, where of course the district is there. I didn't mention in the beginning though, but when the episode came on, they were letting us know that they took so long to come back because the camera crew that follows them around got robbed. Y'all, when I tell you, that was so funny. But anyway, it's the first day of school. It's the career day. During the district assembly, where Janine pops up, you know, working with them, we see that she's the one, like I said, that came up with that and assigned each class, you know, the career person they were going to have. We go throughout their day. She comes in, you know, she's excited to be back at Abbott, but we also sense a little bit of like awkwardness between her and Greg. And good old Ava hooked us up on the hot piping tea that happened in the classroom. So if you haven't watched the episode, please do, y'all. Please do. I know it's on Hulu. And we see why there was an awkwardness there, right? And I was just like, dang it. But even still, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Greg and Janine are somehow going to like stop being so goofy and finally get together. Like, oh my gosh. But y'all gotta see the tea. It was piping hot. It was. So yeah, they're going through the career day. Everything seems to be going well. She's, you know, still trying to figure out her way in the school. She's still trying to figure out where she needs help at, how she can help, what she can do, because like I said, it kept going back and forth between the flashback to the summertime and then the present day. And during this flashback, before she actually accepted the job the fellowship with the district, she had those iPads that they brought. None of them were charged. They didn't give us, you know, they didn't give them a whole bunch of chargers. And so she had mentioned that to the guy from the district, and he was like, see, you know, this is why you should do it. And then from there, like I said, it goes to present day. So they're going to career day. And she is, you know, like I said, she's excited that she's, you know, seeing her students, that she actually met, before, you know, during school, before she decided to accept the fellowship, but none of them are paying her no attention. She has a nasty, mean substitute. She even goes in to try to do something in the classroom, and the substitute was like, you know, I'll fight. And I was like, ah! And then it ended up being this big old, like, you know, hoopla going on during it. And then we see that everybody starts running down the hallway to Miss Melissa's room, and they see that there's like this professional football player there, and everybody's super excited. And then, you know, there's also a big old, you know, event that happens during those scenes as well. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. Y'all need to watch it. But let's just say I was disappointed, but very hopeful for that either way. And because everybody needed to get back to their classrooms, Janine again came up with an idea to where everybody would be able to see this professional football player in their classrooms with all the other career day participants to make the day a success, even though she didn't feel like she did. And even before that, like I said in the flashback, she was considering doing the fellowship and felt like she really wasn't suited for it. And then Jacob, with his funny self, you know, kept on saying, well, if you don't want it, let me take it, you know. And she had mentioned to him, she mentioned it to Greg about taking a fellowship, which Greg was a little bit surprised because, of course, he would miss his friend. And then she also spoke with Barbara about it, and she basically got good old Barbara wisdom that, you know, like I said in the beginning of this video, she was kind of coming into her own, and she wasn't, quote unquote, dreaming anymore, and super, you know, positive about how she can change this and believe in the district and all of those things. But Barbara told her, you know, don't I feel like she was kind of telling her, don't be like me. Like, if it's something that in your heart of heart that you really feel like you should do, then I think you should do it. And because she was, you know, thinking Barbara will allow her to talk herself out of it and then agree with her and that be it. So that was kind of like the push that she needed, the motivation she needed to go join the fellowship, and she eventually did. And meanwhile, the other teachers are coming up with this idea, this plan to put in place to get, like I said, to get Ava right up on out that crazy mindset of hers that's nothing like her. I'm talking about she was preppy, she was on time, she was doing everything, she was reading, but still, even in that, she was super, super funny. And so again, they tried all of these things to kind of tempt her to get out of this, you know, new Ava mindset, and they used Greg, which was so freaking funny to me, and she didn't care at all. But Barbara knows her, right? Knows her. They all know her, but Barbara knows her, and she knew the one thing that will get her up out of this, you know, new and improved Ava mess, basically. And she decided to figure out a way to get her all by herself, which they did, and play a song that she knew would get her up out of that. And when I tell y'all, it just broke her free from this prudish principal, and it got us right back to our girl Ava. Honey, we was laughing out loud. And if you watch the video, you already know that scene was so funny, because the song that they played would get anybody on the dance floor, get anybody out of a bad mood. It's a classic, it's a classic, it's a classic, and it's going to continue to be one forever and ever. Even when I'm old and gray, and now somebody play that song, them first couple of beats, I'm on the dance floor. I'm doing what I got to do. Wheelchair, cane, whatever. I'm doing what I got to do. And they got Ava out. They were so excited. And now everything is everything. Or is it? So, y'all, like I said, we got some piping hot tea from Ava concerning our good old friends, Janine and Greg. And by the time everything was over for career day and we were done with the flashbacks and all of that stuff, we see a conversation happening between those two. And Greg basically told her that whatever happened during that tea after school one day, he basically felt that was the reason why Janine decided to take the fellowship, and she assured him that it wasn't, and he felt better about it, and they seemed to still have that chemistry, still have that flirtiness, still have that, like, I want you but I don't want you but I do type of like rapport with each other. So they are back on good terms. There's no more awkwardness. But there's another couple who has some tension going. There was some tears shed. There was some things that were said. There were hearts that were broken. But I'm still, like I said, very hopeful for this particular couple. And I believe that at the end of the day, Janine is going to continue to come into her own. She's going to continue to think for herself and be more sure of herself, like she said, and not necessarily stop dreaming, but know that everything is not going to be perfect. And it is so funny that how everybody teases her about being so nerdy and so quirky. At Abbott, with the whole group that she works with in this fellowship for the district is like literally a group of Janines. And it's so funny how nerdy they are, according to Ava. But I thought it was really cute because when she said that she doesn't work there anymore, like my mouth dropped. I was like, girl, where you work at? Why you ain't no teacher? But then, like I said, throughout the episode, we figured it out. And it was an hour long. I don't know that they're going to all be an hour long. It's probably going to be 30 minutes still. But I am just so excited that this episode is like trending already. I'm glad that Abbott Elementary is back because it's been way too long. And I am, again, so excited to be recapping it again. I hope I didn't miss anything. As usual, like I always say, if I did, put it in the comments. And I hope that y'all watching. And I am excited to see what these other episodes throughout this season are going to be about. I love the fact that we continue to get outside of the school and out, you know, see, you know, their homes when they go out to eat, the bars, all of that stuff. Abbott Elementary is just that show for me. And I hope that it's that show for you too. Again, thank y'all for watching Authentically Audrey B TV for another Abbott Elementary recap review. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.